Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wake the hell up, turn the volume way up, because we got another episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm out here in Denver, Colorado, Matt Coble, joined by my guy in Nashville, Tennessee, Maxwell Faulkner. Max, what's going on, brother?
Man, oh man, just a beautiful day in here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's in the 80s. We're in mid-80s over here. Go breezy. It's been a long time. But I made a homemade shepherd's pie. All right, a homemade shepherd's pie, baby. Okay, I'm talking beef. I'm talking mashed potatoes, peas, carrots, green beans, corn, all that mixed in there. Ooh.
Green beans.
There's some green beans in there. Why not?
Nice,
The more vegetables, the better. Okay, it was good.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? It was quite delicious, and I must say, everyone, that if you are unfamiliar with shepherd's pie, then you don't know your English background. All right, you don't know your European background. It's it's delicious, and it's very easy to make. Cobrizi, you're familiar with shepherd's pie, are you not?
I want to say I made one back in the spring, so not
Nice.
too long ago. Definitely like it, filling, and definitely gonna keep you regular too. Gonna have you ready to go in the morning for sure.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
But Max, as we talked about last week, we're breaking the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast up into 2 episodes for right now. We got a Tuesday episode reviewing what happened in the NFL that past weekend, and a Thursday preview episode tonight, making some predictions of what might happen this weekend. Anything before we get into our sports, brother?
Yeah, man. For everyone out there, if you're big fantasy football people, hey, this is the podcast that's going to help you out with your lineups for this upcoming week. We're in week 3 already, Cole Breezy. We're in week 3.
Wow.
I know we were a little late, everyone, because we missed the first 2 weeks, but hey, we're back. We're ready to talk about it, and I hope that your fantasy football teams are looking good and ready to roll, because today we're going to bring up some extra juicy dogs for you to put in your lineups. You better have them in your lineups. But we'll get to that in a moment, because Cobrizi, if I'm not mistaken, we actually have some big news that is not in the football world that we have to bring up. Cobrizi, go ahead. You jump on that.
We got to start tonight with some breaking news out of Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani has just made Major League Baseball history by becoming the first player ever to record 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in a single season.
Whoa.
Max, he came into today's game at Miami with 48 home runs and 49 steals. So, definitely on pace, but no one thought it was going to be today. He went on to hit 3 homers, steal 2 bases, 10 ribbies, 6 for 6.
10 ribbies?
10 ribbies. Okay. So obviously he has it now. He has the 50-50 season now after today. No one had ever had a 46-46 season until Ohtani this year, and only 6 guys are in the 40-40 club. Max, what do you think about Ohtani making Major League Baseball history here? And just today alone, 6 for 6, 3 dingers, 10 ribbies, 4 runs, and 2 steals.
MVP. There's no doubt in my mind. Shohei Ohtani's got the MVP. He's got the NL MVP. I know everyone is going to say, well, Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is in the AL. So Aaron Judge will win the AL MVP. And Shohei Ohtani is the league MVP, though. I'm telling you right now. Aaron Judge had a great year, but if I had to pick between these two, Shohei Ohtani just broke history, man. He broke history again. He keeps on breaking records. It's how many MVP does he have? 2? Two. This is going to be his third. There's no question. There's no question. He's going to do it again. You better believe that those Dodgers, they're rolling after picking up Jack Flaherty to help with that pitching rotation. I think it's going to be a very exciting playoffs coming up, everybody. So you better be ready. But Shohei Ohtani, oh man, he is red hot. Look out in October. I want to see these guys go far. I don't like the Dodgers, but damn it, do I like Shohei Ohtani.
Definitely my favorite player, Max. Shohei Ohtani this season alone has set career highs. You just said he's a 2-time MVP. This season alone, he has set career highs already in runs scored, hits, doubles, home runs, ribbies, total bases, and stolen bases. His previous career high in stolen bases was 26. He's about to double that. He's
Wow.
about to double his career high in stolen bases, and he clinched his first career playoff appearance today. First ever time we're going to see Ohtani in October, Max.
Well, I can't believe you're saying that, by the way. It's that's unreal. The best player in the world. Isn't it sad to see that there are really talented baseball players that were just part of a terrible organization that weren't able to make the playoffs for I mean, the Shohei Ohtani is one of them. What, Mike Trout made it once, maybe made it one time in his career?
2014 maybe.
Ridiculous. But hey, Shohei Ohtani definitely made the right decision going to the Dodgers. I was hoping a different team. You know, I lived in LA, everybody. I have some beef with LA. I got some beef with Los Angeles.
Juicy beef. Juicy.
I mean, the beef coming out of your butthole, that's what Los Angeles is, I'll tell you right now. But the Dodgers are looking really good. And Shohei Ohtani, man, you're so fun to watch. I cannot wait for October. That's really when I watch baseball, when the Cubs aren't doing so hot. That's the only time I really watch baseball. So I'm looking forward to it.
Not this weekend, but next weekend, the Dodgers close out the season on the road here in Denver, Colorado. You know I'm going to be there. Got to. Max, let's get into our fantasy football talk.
Yeah, let's
do it. Game picks here. Gonna
make
some game picks. Last year, we picked them all, and it just took too long. So we're just going to do some juicy games, some prime 30 games.
30 minutes, Cobras. It took 40 minutes sometimes. Jeez Louise. Too
much, boys.
Too much, people. Too much. Make your own picks, all right?
Well, we're going to give you 5 juicy ones today. Sunday Night Football, 6:20 Mountain Time on NBC Peacock. Max, you still got that Peacock, right?
Oh, yeah. Still got it loaded up. Ever since Purdue played 6 games. Purdue played 6 games on Peacock. You had to get the app. I'm not missing my Boilers. I'm not missing my Boilers, Cole Breezy.
I didn't notice that shirt.
Hey, I'm always wearing Purdue. But, now that we can watch NFL on it, I'm like, okay, what? I'm going to keep Peacock. I'm keeping it.
I think Matt Painter is still getting a kickback from that Peacock deal. So I think he's getting some hush money there. But Sunday Night Football. We got the 2-0 Chiefs at the 1-1 Falcons. I almost said Matt Ryan. Jesus. Kirk Cousins, Captain Queef. The Achilles, we weren't too sure about it in week 1. Week 2, he looks a little bit better. But I'm going Chiefs on the road, Max. Not much to talk about here. I'm going Chiefs on the road.
I think Atlanta had a big win against the Eagles last week, winning 22-21. A big surprise, I would actually say.
Great comeback.
And Kansas City losing Isaiah Pacheco, that is pretty big. That is big. Chiefs are going on the road. Maybe Atlanta has the momentum, but I am still going the Chiefs. I'm still going the Chiefs. It's hard to bet against them.
Yeah, they squeaked by against the Raiders, and then they squeaked by against the Bengals. The Chiefs squeaked by against the Ravens, and then they squeaked by against the Bengals. So 2 solid teams, but maybe they're due for a loss, but I think maybe they're due for more passing also, for more Travis Kelce. So I'm with you with the Chiefs, but real quick, Atlanta Falcon receiver that we failed to bring up last week, Darnell Mooney, Max, made headlines in our league. Do you want to tell the people why is Darnell Mooney, why are we bringing him up right now?
Okay. So Cole Breezy had a big matchup against Bobby in our league. Bobby was the leading scorer of last week. He had 167 fantasy points, something ridiculous like that. Because he has Tyreek Hill, because he's got Devon Achane. He has a Miami special, which bummer about Miami right now. We could talk about them another time, but I think they're going to start going down. AJ Brown out of nowhere, he's out, everybody. He's out this week too. Where did that come from? I feel like that just crept up on us. So he picks up Darnell Mooney, puts him in his lineup. Okay. And I was like, okay, I don't know. Cole Breezy's up by 8 points. I don't know, something like that. 7 or 8.
Yep.
And then, I see that he ends up, Darnell Mooney scoring a big touchdown. I'm like, oh, well, that's the game. Looks like
exactly what I did, Max. Exactly what I did.
That's it. He won. Turns out Bobby, before kickoff on Monday night, made a switch. He took Darnell Mooney out and put in Jahan Dotson for the Eagles. And he had 1 catch for 5 yards. Oh
Bobby,
my goodness.
Bobby shaking like a leaf on a tree. He had Mooney in there. Would have beat me. Would have beat me by 8 or 9 or 10 points with Mooney in there. I gave you 17, but
17. Mooney had 4 catches, 90, was it 70 something yards,
big
but he had
tutty.
the touchdown. He had a
Big
big
tutty.
touchdown. Big touchdown. Okay.
Bobby shaking like a leaf on a tree on Monday, switches it out for Dotson, who almost goosed you. My goodness. Sorry, Bobby, but thanks for that W. Thank you. Next game, Monday Night Football, prime time, 5:30 Mountain Time on ESPN. The 0-2 Jaguars at the 2-0 Bills. I wasn't high on the Jags coming in, and we both had the Dolphins winning that AFC East, so
Yeah.
we were a little bit lower on the Bills too, and they might be a surprising 2-0 team, but they're not going to be surprising to be 3-0. I got the Bills at home.
I got the Bills at home. I slept on the Bills. I'm going to be honest. I thought that this was the year that they had to do some form of rebuilding after losing Stephon Diggs. And I just didn't think that Josh Allen was going to be able to throw anybody. Great coaching, good organization. I'm telling you, the Bills know what's up. And one of the most elite quarterbacks in the game. Bills, they're going to win the division now. I seriously can see it happening. I think Miami's got a lot of beef going on. A lot of beef in Miami.
That's the Bills' division to lose now. Yeah, for sure. Trevor Lawrence for the Jaguars. You ain't going to believe this, Max. Going back to last year, Trevor Lawrence has lost 7 straight games.
Oh.
7 straight starts Trevor Lawrence has fucking lost. Making $55 million a year. That's one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league. Not playing like it. Not playing like it. We got a doubleheader on Monday night this week. Another Monday Night Football prime time, 6:15 Mountain Time on ABC. The 1-1 Washington Football Queefs at the 0-2 Bengals. Washington last week became the first team in NFL history to win a game without scoring a touchdown and allowing the opposition to score 3 touchdowns. Became the first team to ever win with that kind of stat. I don't see them getting this one done in Cincinnati. I got a big bounce back game for the Bengals here. We'll talk about a couple players later for the Bengals, but I got Cincinnati at home. They can't go 0-3. They can't go 0-3.
It's a must win for Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati at home as well. I think the Washington Commanders, football queefs, whatever you want to call them, I think that they're actually surprising. I think Jaden Daniels looks great. He looks really, really good. I don't know about the passing situation. I just know he's rushing very well. The football queefs running game looks fantastic. Okay, rushing the ball with the quarterback and also on the ground with Brian Robinson Jr. and also in the backfield with Austin Eckler as well.
Sure,
the running game looks good, but Bengals need it. Bengals need it. I got the Bengals at home.
Joe Burrow, 5-year career, first 2 games of the season, all 5 years, he's 1-9. 1-9. Joe Burrow, get out of here. Slow starts. Maybe you should play a little preseason. Joe. 2 more games we got to talk about here because both of these games have undefeated teams involved. Sunday, 11 o'clock Mountain Time on CBS. The 2-0 Texans at the 2-0 Vikings. Maybe the biggest surprise. The Vikings I had them in the basement of the division. I don't know about you, but I had them in the basement. Minnesota, this is their first 2-0 start since 2016, but it's not going to be 3-0. I got Texans on the road. Too many weapons there for CJ Stroud.
Texans look great. They're going to win that AFC South. I'm telling you right, meow. Meow.
That's no debate.
I know everyone's excited in Minnesota, but it's going to dip. All right. It is going to dip. There's going to be that point. All right. Just wait and see. Okay. You want to requote me later on in 8 weeks? Yeah. They're going to dip.
Sam Darnold, along with Derek Carr, are the only quarterbacks in the NFL to throw for at least 2 touchdowns in each game this season. My goodness. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not buying into Sam Darnold.
No.
Last game we got to pick this week, Sunday, 11 o'clock Mountain Time on CBS. The 2-0 Jim Harbaugh-led Los Angeles Chargers going to Heinz Field. I believe it's Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, playing the 2-0 Steelers. This is the Chargers' first 2-0 start since 2012. Ran the ball, I think, 35 times last week. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins especially getting it done. Justin Herbert a little bit banged up, going on the road. Looks like Justin Fields is going to start another game for Russell Wilson here in Pittsburgh. Max, how are you feeling about this one?
I think it's a tight game. The thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay, and this is what they've been doing for, I swear, the past 3 or 4 seasons. It's not an elite offense, but that defense, ooh, man, they are stingy, man. They just, like you better warm up your kicker. All right, because you better be ready for field goals and punting the ball, and hopefully playing some defense against that offense that's so-so. Pittsburgh loves to run the ball; they don't pass it, and the Chargers. It's looking like the same thing right now, right? It looks like it's going to be on the ground most of that
Yeah.
game. I'm going Pittsburgh, man. I'm going Pittsburgh at home. Mike Tomlin. I like Jim Harbaugh. Don't get me wrong. I
Oh
like
yeah.
Jim Harbaugh, but Mike Tomlin is a better coach. Okay, right now anyway. Right now anyway. Okay, Super Bowl winning quarterback. I'm a Super Bowl winning coach.
Hmm.
I'm going Mike
Oh yeah.
Tomlin in this matchup, but it's a fun one. It's a fun one, everybody.
Both teams want to run the ball for sure, but both teams' defenses, their rushing defenses, actually Pittsburgh is tied in fourth, and Chargers are the sixth best rushing defense. So
Okay.
they're gonna run it, but I, this is a toss up, Max, and in these toss up games, I usually lean the home team. So I guess I
Yep.
gotta go Steelers. 3-0 Steelers. Anybody guess that? Anybody guess that with Justin Fields at quarterback?
Uh, yeah. Definitely wasn't expecting it, but I was expecting them to be above 500 because that's what Mike Tomlin does.
Every
He
year.
does it every year. He hasn't had one season yet. Not one season where he was under 500. What, arguably the best coach in the game right now. Arguably the best
Arguably,
coach.
arguably up there with Andy Reid. Yeah, if that's not your top two, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Max, let's get into our first extra juicy dog segment of the season. How about you lead us off with your quarterback? Now, this let me explain what this is again. This is a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end that you're for sure firing up in your fantasy lineups. We're going to guarantee some touchdowns here, so don't be afraid to go put a parlay on and FanDuel for a touchdown prop. Max, start us off here with your quarterback.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I know I talked a lot of shit about him when we were
Uh
doing
oh.
our divisional breakdowns, Cobreeze. And
Uh
I know
oh.
you were high on him, and I know you wanted
Mm,
him as your
mm.
quarterback.
I know
You
where you're
even talked
going.
about potentially a jersey shirt. I'm going Kyler Murray, man. I'm going Kyler
Yeah.
Murray versus Detroit. Detroit is ranked 23rd against quarterbacks right now. Last week, Kyler Murray had 266 passing yards, 3 tutties, 2 of those to your Marvin Harrison Jr., Cole Breezy,
Hello.
including 59 rushing yards. That's 30.9 fantasy points. Now,
Whoa.
the thing that I brought up for the past couple of years, including in the divisional playoff episode that we had for the NFC West, it doesn't look like video games are on his mind, Cole Breezy. It looks like reality and winning in real life rather than in virtual life is what he's thinking about. Okay, this is a guy that's ready. He's back on the field, and Kyler Murray looks great. I cannot believe they just stomped on the Rams, stomped on him. It wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Fire him up, everybody. Fire him up. He's looking like a top 5 quarterback. Cole Breezy, you projected it. You said that you think that he has the potential to do it this year, and he's looking like it. Uh, I like him this week, especially against the Lions. That's going to be a shootout too, Cole Breezy. That's going to be fun.
Oh.
The Lions Cardinals game.
That's the highest over under of the week, actually, that Lions Cardinals game for sure. Definitely high on Kyler. You were a little low on him. I got him written down as a brew bet here, so let's not sleep on that. Kyler
With me?
Murray.
With me?
Oh, with you. I got him written down here.
Are you
We'll have
sure
to
it
go.
was who did that at AFC West with
It
us?
might have been Z. It
I
might have
think it
been
was
Z.
Z. I think
We'll
it
go
was.
back and check the tape. We'll
All
check
right,
the
all right,
tape.
all
I
right.
got Kyler written down here, but Kyler Murray, last week you brought up those stats. He's the second player in NFL history with those kind of stats, 250 plus passing yards and 50 plus rushing yards, and a perfect passer rating. He had a perfect passer
Perfect.
rating.
Ooh.
He had some incompletions, but I don't know how
Yeah.
that stat works. Second
Yeah.
player in NFL history to do that. Kyler Murray, great pick. Great pick against the Lions. But for my extra juicy dog at the quarterback position this week for week 3, I'm going Cincinnati boys, Joe
Mm.
Burrow, and that stupid ass haircut he's got.
This is so stupid, man. This is so stupid.
Main reason I'm going for him, this baby's a must win. We already said that. Joe Burrow,
Mhm.
he's going to be coming out here clicking on all cylinders. And because they're playing the Washington football Queefs. The Washington football Queefs, they're dead last against the quarterback position in
Mm.
fantasy through the first 2 weeks. And yeah, this has been a rough start for Joe Burrow. QB 14. He played New England at Kansas City. But the Commanders, They gave up 4 touchdowns to Baker Mayfield in week 1, the only quarterback to throw 4 in week 1. And last week, the Commanders gave up 2 passing touchdowns to Danny Dookie Jones, who was quarterback 6 in fantasy. Dookie Jones was quarterback 6 last week. Commanders.
Okay, you gotta go pick him up. Is it? You're excited?
I'm excited for Joe Burrow. You ain't hearing me. You ain't hearing me because the Commanders gave Dookie Jones QB6. So what are they going to give Joe Burrow?
True. Very true.
Bengals are 7.5-point home favorites. 47.5-point over-under is tied for the 3rd highest on the week. We're going to see some points. Commanders defense is bad. Bengals defense we ain't sure about. This is a get right game for Burrow. Must win. Fire up Joe Burrow. If you got him, start him. Don't. Yeah, sure, get some insurance, but start Joe Burrow against the Washington Football Queefs.
Love that pick, Cole Breezy. Love that pick. I know that your wife, Kelly, she needs it as well, as she is 0-2. So she needs a big game from Joe Burrow.
1-1.
Oh, she is 1-1. She won last week? She squeaked one out?
Snuck one out. One out.
I gotta. My bad. I gotta look at these scores. Even again, I thought that you lost too. I thought you lost it, but yeah.
Big dog of the week. Big dog of the week. Come on.
Well, if freaking Mooney was in, then
Mooney. All right, shaking like a leaf, Bobby. Give me your extra juicy dog at the running back position, Max.
All right, so I love this guy. He's on my fantasy team. We're going Josh Jacobs, baby. Let's go Josh Jacobs against Tennessee. Tennessee is ranked 22nd against the run this year. Cole Breezy, last week, Jordan Love goes out, right? Jordan Love has a sprained MCL. Who knows when he's coming back? They're talking about potentially him playing this week. I don't think it's
crazy.
No way. I don't think so yet. But Josh Jacobs had 151 rushing yards last week, 151 on 32 attempts. Now, that was only 14 fantasy points, only 14 because they didn't get him in the end zone. Didn't get him in the end zone. And also, I was surprised. I was shocked on this. They didn't use him in the passing game. Josh Jacobs always gets used in the passing game, but not this time because Malik Willis, dude, the guy can't pass the ball. The guy can't pass the ball. So you know that they're focusing on the run. Josh Jacobs, fire him up. And I'm telling you right now, Cole Breezy, this is the week. My buddy, Mr. Tutty, Josh Jacobs is getting in the end zone against Tennessee. My buddy, Mr. Tutty, with Josh Jacobs, baby. It cannot wait to see it. I love Josh Jacobs, man. I love him. Let's go.
First guarantee of the season. Yeah, I had the misfortune of having to watch that Packers-Colts game last week, and yeah, that's a lot of yards for Josh Jacobs. He had a fumble on the goal line, unfortunately. Fumbled on the goal line. So he could have been a much bigger day. But yeah, as long as Malik Willis is out there, he should be getting 25, 30 fucking carries. And that's nuts. My extra juicy dog at the running back position for week 3 is going to be San Francisco 49er Jordan Mason at the Rams. Currently in full PPR leagues, Jordan Mason is running back 7 this year, filling in for CMC. Week 1, Jordan Mason had 28 carries for 147 yards and a touchdown against the Jets. Last week, 20 more carries for 100 more yards and another touchdown against Minnesota. The 49ers, they're 7-point favorites against this depleted Rams team. Their offensive line is hurt. Puka's hurt. Cooper Kupp's hurt. Defense is hurt. The Rams are 29th so far in fantasy against the running back position. Week 1, they gave up 5.3 yards per rush to Detroit. Montgomery had 91 yards and a touchdown. In week 2, the Rams gave up 231 rushing yards on 5.8 yards per rush to Arizona. 122 and a tutty for Connor. So what the hell's Jordan Mason going to do? He's going to get in that end zone. My buddy, Mr. Tutty, Jordan Mason is scoring this week. The Rams have surrendered 3 touchdowns on the ground through 2 games. Going to be another one here, at least one. I'm not going to get crazy and do a double. But Jordan Mason, he's scoring this week.
Real quick, again, on that San Francisco running backs, it just doesn't matter who's in that system and how they made Raheem Mostert a star, how they made even like Jeff Wilson when he was on that team back in the day. Even he had some big games. It doesn't matter who's in that lineup, man. Just think if Jordan Mason was on any other team. I don't think we'd be talking about him. I'm telling you right now.
Probably not.
Good pick. All right. My next guy for my extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position, Cole Breezy. I think people might be a little shocked about this guy. I'm going Chris Olave. Chris Olave from New Orleans. Okay, taking on Philadelphia. Philadelphia is ranked 31st against wide receivers. 31st. This game is going to be a shootout. Okay, this game I think is going to be a little back and forth here. I mean, we already talked about New Orleans and how they're what, 41 points the first game, 44 points the second game. It's
Nuts.
ridiculous. Okay,
Nuts.
lots of points. Now, Chris Olave, tough start for him. Tough start. Okay, last week he had 4 catches for 81 yards and 10.8 fantasy points, but his
That's all
first
right.
week, I think he had 2 catches. I think it was 2 catches, but they were up by like, again, they just blew out team.
Right.
I don't even know who they oh wait, Carolina. So they blew them out. They didn't even need them. But Derek Carr and that dominating offense, they are going to get Chris Olave going this week. Okay, they're going to need it against a really good Philadelphia team. Hey, my buddy, Mr. Tutty, Chris
Oh
Olave.
my
I'm calling him my
goodness.
buddy, Mr. Tutty, for Chris Olave. This is his week to do it against
Whoa.
a potential Super Bowl contender.
Oh.
New Orleans. Philadelphia is good. All right, let's not sleep on Philadelphia. I think it's a good time for them to get him in the end zone. Come on, Chris
Yeah.
Olave. Put him in your lineups, everybody, because this is a
Yeah.
juicy matchup.
I definitely looked at Chris Olave for this segment, Max. So I like that. I think it's going to be a breakout game. The Eagles' defense, it's not where it needs to be for sure. Olave, a keeper in our league, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think it's going to pay off. I think it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
My extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position for week 3. I'm going to stack here, Max. I'm going back to Cincinnati and Jamar Chase against those Washington football Queefs. Because guess what? Washington is dead last against wide receivers in fantasy too, quarterbacks and receivers. It's just
Yikes.
stacks all day. Jamar Chase in full PPR league so far through 2 weeks is wide receiver 40. Wide receiver 40. 10 catches on 11 targets for 97 yards and no touchdowns through 2 games. That's terrible. We see he's disgruntled. He's not happy over his contract. We see him last week getting in the face of an official, getting an unsportsmanlike penalty. Joe Burrow's pushing him out of the way. He's not happy. Jamar Chase ain't happy. But like I said, the Bengals are 7.5-point home favorites in this game against Washington with a 47.5-point over-under, which is tied for 3rd highest on the week. Gonna let it fly. Joe Burrow's letting it fly, and who's he looking for? He's looking for his guy from the Bayou, Jamar Chase, okay? Like I said, the Washington football Queefs dead last against quarterbacks and receivers. They've given up 6 receiving touchdowns in the first 2 games. 6 receiving touchdowns in the first 2 games they've given up. Going to give another one up this week to Jamar Chase.
Oh my goodness.
We're getting greedy on this pod, on this episode this week. Jamar Chase getting in the end zone.
Love it. Great picks. I love the stack, by the way. It's going to be a big week for the Bengals, like we already been bringing up. All right, let's move over to the tight end, everybody. We've been bringing up the tight end and how it has just been very disappointing. Okay, it's been for a lot of the big time names. We're talking Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. Sam
Laporta.
Sam Laporta. Thank you, Sam Laporta.
Dalton Kincaid hasn't worked out.
What the hell is going on? Really, nothing is happening so far for the tight ends.
Evan Ingram's hurt.
Evan Ingram's hurt. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise. All these big names that we're tossing out here. But I will say that there is one guy that is doing pretty good, and it is George Kittle of San Francisco. Okay. Bring it up, George Kittle. You better fire him up in your lineups against the Los Angeles Rams. They're 30th against tight ends. Man, what happened to their defense? What happened to the Rams and their defense? George Kittle this season is 11 of 13 in targets. Okay, 11 catches out of 13 targets. Very efficient. Last week he had 7 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown. That's 17.1 fantasy points against a team that like the Rams were, that just are doing terrible on defense. You better fire up George Kittle. The only thing that I'm nervous about is that San Francisco goes up 21-0 in the first quarter, and then George Kittle says, "I don't want to play. I don't need to play. I don't need to play anymore." That's the only thing I'd be worried about. But fire him up. You're definitely starting him. Because this could be an 80-yard pass out of nowhere, especially against this kind of defense. So fire up George Kittle. No, my buddy, Mr. Tutty over here, though. I'm not calling it. I'm not calling it for George Kittle. It makes me nervous seeing a tight end that can do two days in a row or 2 games in a row of touchdowns. It's very rare, very rare.
Very rare to try to predict a tight end, Tutty, too, for sure. Yeah. George Kittle, I think he's going to be used a lot more with Debo being out, especially CMC being out. But I will say, what's making me nervous about George Kittle is the fact that he didn't practice today with the hamstring injury.
Didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about
Hamstring. So if you're planning on George Kittle, I think that's it's going to be a later kickoff. You're going to have to know in the morning. That makes me nervous.
Wow. That just popped up, Uncle Breezy, because I did not, because I did this earlier, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, I didn't practice today. My tight end for this extra juicy dog segment for week 3. I'm going my tight end in our league, Max. Brock Bowers. He's playing the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are they the worst team? Are they the worst team?
They just sat their number 1 overall pick for frickin'
Embarrassing.
Andy Dalton.
Embarrassing.
Ugh.
Embarrassing. Brock Bowers right now is tight end 2. He is 0.1 points behind Isaiah Likely for the top tight end right now. The Raiders, they're 5-point home favorites in this game. In week 1, Brock Bowers had 6 catches for 58 yards. Last week, he had 9 catches for 98 yards. Max, this is the most receptions in NFL history for a tight end through their first 2 games.
Oh.
He had 15 catches, is now the record. The previous record was 12, so he beat their record by 3. Doesn't seem like a lot, but rookie tight ends, they don't do a lot. And this one's going to shock you, Max. This one's going to shock you. Gardner Minshew, one of your guys, leads the NFL with 55 completions and also leads the NFL, with a 77.5% completion percentage.
Stop.
He leads the NFL in both completions and completion percentage. That's crazy. And he's tied for second in passing yards. Gardner Minshew right now. He's feeding Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers. All those yards, all those completions are going to those 2 guys. Mm-hmm. Clearly the top 2 targets, funneling it to them. Carolina, the Panthers are 31st against the tight end position through these first 2 weeks. They gave up touchdowns to The Panthers gave up touchdowns to both tight ends, Foster Moreau and Jawan Johnson for the Saints in week 1. Two tight end tutties already surrendered. And damn it, I'm going to get greedy, Max.
Oh,
I'm going
to
get greedy.
Goodness.
I never want to go 3 guarantees in 1 week. Never want to go 3 guarantees, but it's the first time we're doing this. Maybe I got a little excited, maybe because he's on my team. But damn it, Brock Bowers is due for his first career touchdown. My buddy, Mr. Tutty. Brock Bowers against the Panthers this week.
What a great draft pick for you, Breezy, because there was a point where you were getting nervous. I know you were, because he got late into the draft. All the top tight ends were out. But Brock Bowers is looking outstanding. He might be the next he might be Sam Laporta of last season. It's looking like it, the way that the targets he's getting right now. Ridiculous.
I definitely was not the plan to wait for Brock Bowers, but it just the draft played out like that, and I believe I got him in the 11th round. So I could be a steal for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Max, that's going to do us this week for our preview episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Quickly, we play each other this week in our league, the League of Indie Lurches. It's a podcast battle.
Hey, yo.
Right now, ESPN has you projected to beat me by less than a point. This is a true toss-up, baby. Any thoughts on that matchup, Max?
Yeah, it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a tight one. I've been waiting all week to hear about Kenneth Walker III. He didn't practice today again. Doesn't look like he's going to play. It doesn't look like he's going to play. But that's right. I got some good backups here. I got the number one wide receiver right now, Chris Godwin. I got CeeDee Lamb. I got Josh Jacobs. Brian Robinson Jr. is ranked number 3. I got Jalen Hurts, baby. What's Jalen Hurts ranked? Come on, number 4. He's ranked number 4.
Solid.
But it's going to be a very, very fun matchup, Breezy. It's always fun to play against you. So, yeah, best of luck to you. But it's going to be it's going to go all the way to Monday night. I'll tell you that much.
I agree with you, Max. I'm glad you bring up Kenneth Walker, because I was going to see if you were interested in Zach Charbonnet before we get off this podcast tonight.
Oh,
currently
really?
running back 18 and has scored in both games for a team that's undefeated in a new, possibly juicy offense. We don't know about Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet has 5 receptions on the season. This guy could be the starting running back for a divisional winner if the 49ers are too banged up for this. You interested in offering me anything for Zach Charbonnet?
I like Zach Charbonnet. I wanted to go get him because I knew I was going to draft Kenneth Walker III if he dropped to me, which he did. And so I wanted him, and I am interested. I guess it's what are you interested? What do you need? I don't know what your team needs.
I was looking at your team today, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. I got 4 top 17 receivers in our league right now, so I don't really need receivers, and I don't know why I would swap a running back for a running back, and I got Patty Mahomes and Jaden Daniels and Brock Bowers at quarterback and tight end, so I don't know. Might have to be like a 3, 4, 5 player swap. Maybe get a third team involved.
Always bring in a third team. There's always got to be that third guy that gets the scraps. Yeah. So, yeah.
Gets like 6 guys.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Really quick. Kenneth Walker III, everybody. This is an oblique injury. This is what happened last year, and he was out 2 games. I think this is going to happen again. He's going to be out 2 games, but he's going to come right back with full force, going all the way to the end of the season. This time, last year it was mid-season, or almost close to the end of the season. Yeah. Got it done with early. Now he's going to go full force all the rest of the season. Be ready for that. So don't worry about Kenneth Walker III. He'll be back.
I believe I heard there was a video posted today of him running about 50% on the sideline, and then he just goes and grabs his side. So might be more than 2 weeks. Might be more than 2 weeks, Max. But Zach Charbonnet gonna be in some talks here. Queef Wilson already called me for him. So
is he really?
RB18 for a possibly good offense. We'll see. But hey, great pod here. Can't wait for Thursday Night Football. About to kick off in 1 minute. The Jets
perfect
and Pats.
timing. Perfect timing.
That's a shitty ass game, but whatever. We're gonna throw it on.
Football's football. Throw it on.
Thank you for coming out, everybody. We appreciate the time. We're gonna get these shorter. This one went a little longer too, for some reason. I don't know why, but love talking fantasy football. Can't wait to get back here next week, Max. Get us out of here.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe as you continue to do. And I hope we helped you with your fantasy lineups here. We're excited for fantasy football season. Hey, and Cole Breezy, Shohei Ohtani, looking really good. Looks like you're going to be slipping into the finals for our championship game. And it's a tight. We're also in baseball fantasy. Everybody.
Final four.
We're both in the Final Four. I want to face you, Cole Breezy.
We're both losing.
We're both losing currently, but we have the weekend ahead of us. Okay, the weekend we always turn it up a little bit. That's what I like with my team. But good luck to you, and we'll see you in that championship game. I think it's going to happen.
I want it.